All right, we're ready for section 2.3 notes about slope and slope in context. And so I believe we've looked at slope in the past, and that is also called rate of change. And it's the change in y, or the change in up and down, divided by the change in x. So it's a ratio. It's helpful to write it as a unit rate, which just means reduced. And then this cute little guy is a fun reminder. So when we have a slope that looks like this, it's positive. When we have a slope that's going this way, right, it's angled that way, that is negative. When we have a vertical up and down slope, this is the U for undefined. And when we have a horizontal slope like this one, it's 0. So just pretty cute little drawing to help you remember those features. So looking at number 1, is it a positive or negative slope? It's positive. Number 2, positive or negative slope? Negative. But now let's actually find that y over x. So what we do on an ordered on a graph is we look for ordered pairs. So let me zoom in, and I can see that it crosses right there at like one of the T's. We have to find something like that. And then I see another one right here. So first, find OPs. And that's going to be find ordered pairs. Then I'm going to count from the left side to the right. I start here, and I'm going to count my y values. So that's up. I count up 1, 2. And then I count the x direction, which is always going to be to the right. And from here, right, I count it up, and now I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3. So I have a positive 2/3 slope. Nice. Let's try number 2. So first we look for the ordered pairs, and then we go left to right. I see an ordered pair here, and then I see another ordered pair here. So going left to right, I don't go up this time, now I go down. So when I go to write my fraction, I say negative, and I only had to go down 1. And then I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've confirmed it's a slope of negative 1/4 because I went down 1 and over 4 to the right. This is the y direction and this is the x direction. We'll get to do a lot more practice with that in our homework. What about from ordered pairs? Well, now I want to label x1, y1, x2, y2, the first ordered pair and then the second ordered pair. So the first, I just put the little 1s, and then the second, I just put the little 2s. Now I use the formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's going to be 8 minus 5. And I cross them off. They should be the last one in the ordered pair. And then I started with 8, so I have to start with 9 minus 3. And so I do that, and I get 8 minus 5 is 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. So I get 3 over 6. But like I said, I want to do this as a unit rate. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom both by 3. And I get 1 over 6 divided by 3 is 2. And so I have 1/2 as my slope. Let's try another one. Okay, x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to start it as negative 37 minus y1, negative 11. Excuse me. Minus. Oops. Okay, then we have over. I started with this one, so I start with negative 20. Negative 20 minus negative 3. So here I have the double negative, so this changes to plus. This one changes to plus. So it's really negative 37 plus 11, which So they have opposite signs, so it's technically, I want to think in my head, 37 minus 11, but I see that the 37 is bigger, so I know the answer is going to be negative. So I get minus 7 minus 1 is 6, 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have negative 26 in the numerator. Then on the bottom, it's the same thing. I've got negative 20 plus 3. They're opposites, and the 20 is bigger, so it's negative. And I'm really thinking 20 minus 3, which is 17. So I can't have a negative divided by a negative. Two negatives with multiplication and division make positive. So this is positive 26 over 17 as the slope. I don't need to reduce that because 17 is prime. You can try number 5. All right, I got 0 over negative 5. What's 0 divided by 5? That's just a slope of 0. So it would look like this, according to our happy little man. Or he actually doesn't look that happy. So slope of 0 when 0 is in the top. On number 6, maybe you notice the x values are the same, and on 5 you notice the y values are the same. So I noticed that on 5, the y values were the same, so I got slope of 0. What happens when I have x values that are the same? You notice every time I label so that I can get it right, and I'm going to go 6 minus 17 over, I start with this one, negative 2 minus negative 2. So here again I have the two negatives, which changes to a big plus sign. I have 6 take away 17, opposite signs. The 17 is larger, so I get negative 11 over positive 2. No, negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So now I have 0 in the denominator. That's a negative 11 divided by 0, and that is undefined. So the circle with a slash means undefined, but a circle 0 means 0. So this one is a vertical slope, undefined. And of course, this would make a non-function because look, the x's have repeated. So this is not a function. And so that's why we call it undefined. All right, let's look at some slope in context and slope from an ordered a table of values. So I can find the slope here by doing the same formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and I should always know that this is the x and this is the y in a table. I can pick any ones that I want, and so I'm going to pick the smaller numbers. I'm going to start with 12, and then I'm going to do minus 6. So I started with 12, so I have to do 2 minus 1, and that gives me 6 over 1, which is a slope of 6. Now, because this has words, I need to write it like this, 6, and then I put the y word with it, points scored, and that's divided by 1 touchdown. So it's, in a sentence, 6 points per touchdown. I didn't say per 1 touchdown because it was implied when I just said touchdown. And I didn't say touchdowns. Okay, so we just translated to the meaning. And of course, it's best to reduce it to a unit rate. Let's look at this one. So these are the y values. These are the x values. I'll do 42 minus 30 over, started here, 150 minus 100. 42 take away 30 is 12. 150 minus 100 is 50. I can divide the top and bottom by 2. Then I get 6 over 25. and that will not reduce any further. So let's do it. 6 phi, so that's dollars. We notice they all had dollars over X number of miles, so over 25 miles. So how do I write this as a sentence? So what do we say with a $6 fee? We say we pay $6 fee when? For every 25 miles. I could have said that 6 points for every touchdown, and that would have been another good way to say it too. So we add in this word for every, and that kind of turns it from math into English, and so that we can understand it and make sure that we can make sense of what's happening. Cool. What about from a graph? Well, here we want to do that same thing. So I think, I just want to count up and over. Sorry. We have to be really careful on these. So remember, it's the change in the y over the change in x, and I can do that. So I go up 1 and over 1, right? Wrong. I'm going up by how many? So I'm going from 2 to 4, which is actually going up 2. And then I go over just 1. Wrong. I go from 10 to 20. So on these, it is best to do this. Here's the ordered pair, 10, 2, x1, y1. And then here's the next ordered pair that I see. You can pick any of the ordered pairs. That one is 20 for x, and then 4 for y. Now I know I'll get it right because I've correctly selected the x and y values. Because a lot of times students will just tell me, the slope is 1 over 1. Because they forget about the numbers that each one represents. So we're not going to do that. Okay, so this is x2 and y2. So it's 4 minus 2 over 20 minus 10, which is 2 over 10, dividing the top and bottom by 1 over 5. So I got 1/5 altogether. Maybe you already knew that because you had seen it from the other numbers. So now I'm going to write it as the meaning. That's 1/5. So this is the y, okay? So the y is here, and then this is the x on the graph. So this one is the y, this is the x. So it's 1 mile, and then the x is seconds. So I didn't use 1 distance over 5 times because that doesn't make sense. I went ahead and turned it into the units. So when I say this, I say 1 mile every, how many? 5 seconds. And what is that? The distance sound travels in air. So that's like your thunder. So it takes 5 seconds for the thunder to travel 1 mile. I guess, I don't know. That's what it means. Okay, so then this is the speed. It doesn't say of what exactly. So we're going to do the same thing. But I noticed that this one has a negative slope. I can pick any ordered pairs. I'm going to pick this one and this one. And so the x value there is 1, 112. x1, y1. And then the next one is 2, 96. So that's going to be 1, no. It's 96, right? I forgot to label it. Minus 112 over 2 minus 1. 96 minus 112 is going to be a negative number, and it's 16 over 1. So we leave it like that, negative 16 over 1. This is y, this is x. So the y is feet per second over seconds. So this is negative 16 feet per second. I guess it's maybe something is falling from the air or something and it's going 16 feet per second. And it's decreasing because it was coming from somewhere higher up. Coming from, oh, maybe